Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning for everyone. First of all, we want to say thank you for our lecturer which is Tish Nazahiyah that always help me to finish this report. And also, I, Ahmad Fudai bin Ahmad Kennedy, as a group leader for this task, want to say thank you for all my group member, which is Zakira, Hazwani Shaira, Fatin Kamila, and also the Adlina for attend this meeting. Okay, in this presentation, we have the main topic that we want to discuss and also present. The first is the Chinese tourist has prepared to travel again, but the issue is a lot of country close door from accept the Chinese tourists. And why this issue is happen? Okay, the first is it about the COVID-19, one of the traumatized, one of the disease that uh, feel that make the traumatized to worldwide. Okay, the first is what is the COVID-19? We must to understand first the definition, the specific definition. Okay, the COVID-19 is one of the disease come from a virus, and the scientific name which is a SARS-CoV-2. Okay, we must to understand. We also must to understand where this disease come from. Okay, this disease come from the Wuhan. Okay, what is the cause of the disease? Okay, this disease is from the exotic food. Okay, exotic food like a python, dog, cat, bats. Okay, especially sale in the black market at the Wuhan. And we must to understand what is the effect to the human for this disease. Okay, that will affect the human that face the COVID-19 will face the complication with a respiratory illness. Okay, and the person also have the high percentage for this disease is diabetes, cancer, and also the children. Okay, and how this disease is separate too fast in the world. Okay, this is separate by when people breathing with a fresh with air, they will breathe with the particle, small particle that contain the virus. Okay, that is one of the method this virus separate too fast. Okay, when we talk, we sneeze, speak, and we sing, and so on. And how to avoid this virus? How to prevent this virus from separate? And first, we must to apply the social distance 1 meter and wear mask properly and use the hand sanitizer. And the main issue is the Chinese tourist has prepared to travel again. And a lot of countries close their door. And for example, the country that I can show in this presentation is Morocco that closed totally for the Chinese from accept the Chinese tourists. And the Italy also produced a very strict entry procedure to the Chinese. And for example, also France government has announced the visitor from China must have the negative swab test for the COVID-19 and at least 48 hours before the departure. This is a very strict regulation. And also a lot of country which is Spain, German, Sweden, Korea, India also have their specific regulation, and Malaysian also. Okay, um we also have we also produce the opinion. We agree with the a lot of country make this very strict regulation from accept the Chinese tourists. Okay, that will explain by my friend which is Hazwani Shahira and also the Adlina for this part. Okay, I will pass to them. Okay, Hazwani or Adlina.
Okay, thank you, Ahmad Fudai. My name is Nur Adina. I will continue our presentation. Okay, we agree with the solution that state by countries. Uh, every, co- every country has their own solution for handling COVID-19 case. The reason why we agree for the solution, first to avoid the spread of the pandemic in the country in order to prevent the cumulative effect of this solution from occurring again. Second is to avoid existence of new variants in country. This is due to the fact that if we neglect this issue, it will develop into a new variety that we cannot predict in the future while still being a possibility. Third, to exist to the restoration of life as manual in the country's economic, political, and social arenas. Thank you. And I will pass to Nur Hazwani.
The fourthly, lower the death impact. People are increasingly fearful and apprehensive about this illness as rates rise daily. Lastly, educator face to face. It may improve their collective focus on learning. Therefore, if everyone on this world follows the rules during the COVID-19 outbreak, the country will recover as usual. The economy of a country will get better and stabilize. Additionally, death rates will decrease slowly over time. The country, as well as the individuals who are prepared to face all the various risks that may happen again, can learn a lesson from this disaster. So,
Okay, thank you Hazwani Shahira for the explanation about our opinion, and we will proceed with the explanation about the flowchart that contained in the report. Okay, based on the flowchart that we produce, okay, that is a flowchart that is a Malaysian flowchart for regulation to accept the Chinese traveller. Okay, Chinese tourists. Okay, the important things in the flowchart is the Chinese tourists must to show the vaccination status first. In a general regulation, vaccination status, they must to show the direct contact. Okay, at the screen. Okay, the direct contact status, and they must to present the COVID-19 symptom. Okay, the three item will be sent to the screen procedure, and if the result is negative, they can proceed with the next step. And what if the positive, what if the result positive? If the positive, they must to face the isolation, which is a 7 day review, and also the screening procedure. And if the positive, and if the result positive, they must to repeat back to the this procedure. And if the result is negative, it can proceed with the next step. And what is the next step? And the next step in this procedure is visa approval. They will get the visa approval to enter the Malaysia, and they must to face with the isolation, which is 14 days before depart to the before arrive to the Malaysia. Okay, and that is the procedure, simple. And the detail will present by my group member, which is Zakirah, and also the Fatin Kamilia. Okay, Zakirah and Fatin, you can proceed with your part.
Alright, thank you, Fuda. So I'll be explain about the suggested flowchart of the acceptance process for Chinese traveller to Malaysia. This flowchart includes some pre-departure tests or steps, and also the quarantine procedure. So as can be seen in the flowchart, the first step is that Chinese traveller have to install an app called My Sejahtera. This application has been launched by the Malaysian government on the 20th of April 2020. Chinese traveller also have to submit their vaccination status proof in the My Sejahtera app. Then, their vaccination status need to be checked by the government workers. If the step is successfully, that is another step, which is the Chinese traveler have to be free from any positive COVID-19 direct contact, which is with any of their family members, friends, or their close person. Direct contact refers to a form of communication or interactions that occurs between one person that have been positive for COVID-19 to another person who is not, without barriers, without any barriers. So direct contact can be done through face-to-face conversation and also physical touch. Chinese traveler have to update their direct contact status in My Sejahtera application daily. Next, the third step, Chinese traveler need to be clean from any presentation of COVID-19 symptoms. The most common early symptoms of COVID-19 includes fever with body temperature often above 38 degree Celsius, dry cough, and also the shortness of breath. Some individuals may experience some difficulty breathing, the feeling of tiredness, even with minimal physical or mental activities, and then muscle or body pain, headache, sore throat, loss of taste or smell, and also runny nose. For the next step, I will pass to Fatin Camelia.
Thank you, Ms. Nurzakira. Next, I will continue for the next presentation about the suggested flow chart. After the presentation of COVID-19 symptoms is checked, there will have a screening procedure to show whether the Chinese travelers are positive or negative for COVID-19. If negative, the person could finally get their visa approved to enter Malaysia country. Last but not least, after their arrival in Malaysia, they have to be isolated in a specific place for 14 days in total before they could go travel around Malaysia. Next, if the result of the screening procedure is positive, they have to be isolated for 7 days in total at the specific place before they could be reviewed for another screening procedure, which will give another 2 results that are positive and also negative for COVID-19. If negative, they can straight get their visa approved, while the person who gets a positive result has to be in another isolation for 7 days. That concludes for my part. Next, I will pass to our group leader, Ahmad Fidai, for the summarize.
Okay, thank you Fatin and Zakira. Okay, I hope this regulation for accept the Chinese traveller that can practice by the Malaysian authorized body. Okay, and I hope that can this presentation can give a lot of benefit to the other civilian in Malaysia and also to the another country. And I think that's all for this presentation. Okay, thank you and assalamualaikum. Okay.